Mo fẹ́ ṣàlàyé kí ni mo mọ̀ nísìnyí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni gbogbo rẹ̀ okay period all of that yeah. This is an update on my DC government, legal proceedings and claims and everything like that. So as soon as I decide I'm going to start like fully advocating for myself against DC government, the Alcohol Beverage Regulations Administrations, as well as the Department of Insurance, Securities and Banking, as well as the Board of Ethics and Government Accountability, quote unquote, okay, all of that. Yes, I'm speaking out. So now on yesterday, June 17th, 2024 at 1:32 p.m. I received OHR inquiry intake appointment. Mind you, I had I filed this complaint against DISB over a year ago now, and I'm just receiving an intake appointment. And then the person puts the appointment for July the 2nd between 2 to 3 p.m. So not only do they randomly after a whole year follow up with an intake appointment of what I had complained about, the harassment, the discrimination, the all the attempts, all the potential collusion, all of that going on. And then on top of that, they suspended me without pay several times. And I have a mortgage to pay. Okay? Like, this is not the time to play. Okay, so I just want to give you all an update on that. So that happened. I'm going to put the little screen grab, okay, on the screen. Okay? But anyways, so the other day while I was going to file against them with the DC court, I was having a conversation with a young man. He had to have been maybe 40, 41. I think any man under the age of 45 is a young boy. Still has room for growth. And after 45, it's just, let me see what you let me see what you've accomplished in your life. Okay, like okay, period. So this young man. And normally when I'm in an Uber, say hi and I just kind of mind my business. But sometimes they want to engage in conversation. Oftentimes, especially if it's a particular demographic of man. Okay. So this time I decided, sometimes I humor folks, and sometimes you just want to see where their mind is at, just as a form of research. You know what I'm saying? He gets into talking about women and how women complain, and I said, okay. So we kind of got into that conversation. How I let him talk. I like to hear people's thought processes and how they formulate their opinions and things of that nature. So he stated that women, they're always complaining. I said, do you listen to what the woman is saying? He's like, no, because they're always complaining and they're always like yelling. I said, I don't think all women yell, and if that's the type of women that you're selecting, that you might have to talk to yourself about that. So then he states, that they're yelling at us. And then I posed the question. I stated, okay, if given a choice between someone giving you information that's going to save your life, would you want them to? And then there's two individuals. There's one that's going to tell you something correct, and there's one that's going to tell you something incorrect. The person that's going to tell you something correct is going to be harsh. The person that's going to tell you something incorrect is going to be so beautiful and so smooth. So which one would you rather take? Would you rather take the answer from the person that's going to tell you a beautiful lie, or would you rather take the answer from someone that's going to give it to you straight and direct, no chaser? You know what I'm saying? Harsh, but to the point and correct. What would you rather? So that was the first stump that I stumped him on, because he couldn't really answer. He was like, And then I stated, okay, so you say that these women that you're selecting that are, smart women, because that's what he said, they're smart women, and, they're going to, speak up and speak out loud and all those things. I said, okay, so let's remove the romantic part of the aspect. If it's just a man that's telling you or communicating information to you, would you consider that as complaining, or would you consider that someone relaying information to you? Right. So then he was stumped again. And then I stated, you know what? We're having this conversation and I'm not yelling. And quite frankly, I don't argue with men, especially at this point in my life. It's either I'm going to tell them what I got to tell them. They're either going to go along with what I have to tell them or what I need, or they're not going to go along with that. And at that point, I have the free will to move along to someone that will give me what it is that I need, and without even asking for it. Okay. So then Okay, so then I'm like, okay, because women, quite frankly, should not have to argue with any man. And if a man is making it into a space where a woman is having to repeat herself, reiterate herself, clarify herself, that's not someplace where the woman will want to be long term. So she's eventually going to get her wits about her and keep it moving. And then the man's going to have to start over and over until he understands he does not argue with the woman. He gives the woman what she wants. Period. He provides and protects. And anytime he cannot do that, he's going to realize the woman, if she has any value about herself, will pack up and move on to someone that can provide those things. Just like he was eternally stumped at that point. It's as though that's what had happened to him before. So then, as my ride was coming to an end, he wanted to use the Hail Mary pass up. Oh, but I'm a black man, and it's already enough that I have to face out. And then I said, okay, you're a black man, and there's already that you have to face out in the world, but you're still a man. Okay, imagine being a woman, a black woman at that, having to face everything that you face, and then having to come home and can't relax at that home because now she's the second class citizen to the man that's there, because at the end of the day, this is still a patriarchal society. You see that? So imagine being a man, a black man, going through all that you go through, and on top of that, there's still someone that's not even, in their own eyes, considered to be to the level of the people controlling this society at this time, controlling you as a black woman. So you're like, how dare this motherfucker? You're not even, you haven't even freed yourself from the so-called person oppressing you, and then on top of that, you want to oppress me, and I have to deal with the same stuff that you have to deal with, and you haven't even freed yourself and made enough money to be able to even maybe qualify to do such things, which there's no qualification for doing such things. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So at that point, I said, well, I enjoyed this conversation, and yeah, he just looked very stumped. He smiled. He couldn't say anything, and I said, yeah, and yeah, I'll give you 5 stars. The ride was nice. It was rather smooth, and I enjoyed it. Then I thanked him, and I walked on out about my business and let him continue doing what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? Until he becomes a full-fledged man, okay? Period. Not having to even bring a woman to the point where she has to go back and forth with him. You know what I'm saying? And also showing him that someone can completely devour you and not even raise their voice at all. Back to the whole DC government thing. Like, when they when you have court proceedings, or when you're going through the intake and all the things of filing a claim or a report against agencies that are mistreating you, you know what I'm saying? Part of their tactic is the delay, is to keep pushing it because they're hoping that you're going to forget about it, you're going to let it go, so that they don't have to take accountability. Literally the opposite of what the so-called Board of Ethics and Government Accountability, BEGA, stands for. Literally the opposite. So be careful and focus. Do they have mistreated you? Things of that nature. And typically I would have, but they kept being so blatant about the mistreatment, you know what I'm saying? And they just kept continuing, and they won't stop. So when you report things to HR, just know you're going to be a target, whether you like it or not. So I mean, the people that saying go to HR, da da da, those are the people that have never, that may have not have to have gone through the very flinches of it all. You know what I'm saying? Go to HR. Oh no, if they're still saying go to HR, they're setting you up, and they don't even know it. So you have to be very careful with the source of your information, where you're getting your information from. But at the same time, sometimes you just don't know, right? You just don't know what you don't know. However, I'm not saying don't go to HR, don't follow all the processes. Cross your T's and dot your I's, because they will play with you. Cross your T's and dot your I's, follow all the processes. But once you start reporting it to HR, also start taking personal notes as well as recordings and things of that nature. When it comes to the workplace, people are ruthless, and they will play in your face to protect the overarching patriarchal, Zionist, fascist mentality that controls the whole society that we live in. Okay? Okay. Oh, and the most important thing, their paycheck. Hello. People are not going to jeopardize their paycheck, even if they're wrong, even if they're right. They're going to follow the systems. For the most part, people are not going to play about their money. Hell, I'm not going to play about my money. You are not going to play about your money. Okay? Because self-preservation is a thing, we all can understand that you're going to do what's in your best favor. So even if someone is on the side of, I guess, quote unquote, evil, you can see why they're going to go so hard for their side. Because again, if that side wins, then hey, they're preserved. So that's why a lot of people that are on, or a lot of maybe people of notoriety, um, are not saying a lot when it comes to the Palestine, Gaza, Sudan, Congo, countries being colonized, you know what I'm saying, and being ethnically cleansed because they don't know which way the tide is going to turn. So therefore, they're like, let's wait it out. So a lot of people right now are waiting it out. They're not speaking out because they're like, hey, maybe everyone's going to go back to sleep. But what they're failing to realize is no turning back. Everyone knows the truth, and now we are all aware that you want us to slumber, you want to distract and detract, and that a lot of the stuff that they're spewing, okay, a lot of the stuff that the fascist, Zionist, racist, okay, white supremacist mentality people and those that support that ideology, okay, they're trying to see, hey, are the masses going to go back to sleep, or but we're realizing, a lot of people are realizing that a lot of those fascist, Zionists, etc., their lies and propaganda is all smokescreens. It's bullshit. It's all BS. That's what's being realized. Again, cross your T's and dot your I's. What they want you to do is not to cross your T's and dot your I's, okay? Period. Similar to a certain demographic of men that society has distracted them. They have completely lost focus. They're not dotting their T's, and they're not dotting their I's and crossing their T's. So therefore, society can play with them anyhow. But those that are with this consciousness and those that understand that you have to be fully focused and cross your T's and dot your I's so that you're more aware of this foolish games that they will be playing in your face. But if you're not already crossing your T's and dotting your I's, when they play with you, you're not going to have a leg to stand on. You understand? So you have to focus. That is that's that big D energy. Okay, focus is big D energy. Self-control is big D energy. Okay, and that money sprinkle sprinkle. Okay, that's the number one thing. Okay, how about that? Okay. Ugh. So just know that if you are going through something with DC government, or any of the agencies, make sure you comment down below. You know what I'm saying? So other people that can relate to your experience, you know, maybe can find a community there. Yeah, comment below your experience with DC government and their potential mistreatment, hostile work environment, wrongful termination, intimidation, potential collusion. You know what I'm saying? Violations of whistleblower laws and all those things. Influencing, power of influence. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure you voice out what you're experiencing, because you'd be surprised at how many other people may be going through the same things and aren't quite sure how to, make these agencies accountable. And sometimes people sit on their laurels for so long that they get comfortable and they think that everyone's going to go for their nonsense, and that's inaccurate. They sit on these claims, okay, until it goes to oblivion. Okay, they'll purposefully sit on these claims, and there are people that are in the background that you would probably never know that's having background conversations that could well go into some kind of collusion, or at least having inappropriate conversations, right? Confidential conversations that shouldn't be involved with those particular, people. So you just have to be very careful. And just like the US, the UK, Israel, and France, they they detract from what's actually going on. Okay, they want you to get caught up in time frames and delays so they can say, oh, she didn't file it by this time, she didn't file. Make sure you file everything on time. Have a calendar if you must. Okay, don't risk it, because they will play with you. Okay, that's the name of the game until until they seem as though they can invalidate you. And that's their point, is to try to invalidate you, to try to silence you, and all those things. Why do you think they have arbitration before a real lawsuit? Like, let's be real. Because they don't want the general public knowing the nonsense that they be doing in the background. Okay? They don't want the general public knowing the nonsense they put their employees through, and the kind of culture and toxic work environment that they have. Especially DC government. It's like a high school. So everyone knows everyone, or has a way to reach everyone. Like, I really feel that needs to maybe change. It was beneficial while it lasted. But since the world is changing, maybe that too needs to change. Vote out your local government holders, or, you know what I'm saying? Especially if they're not benefiting you after years and years and years and years. Maybe it's time for a change. And sometimes people don't want to state that because, again, everyone is so invested in the people that are in play now. But times have changed, and they will change, and they will not remain the same. Anyways, justice for Palestine, Gaza, Rafah, Sudan, Congo, Haiti, Mauritania, Nigeria, and all other countries affected by colonialism, racism, fascism, Zionism. Free all countries affected by ethnic cleansing. Okay? All of that. Make sure you check out my website, the-goddessuniverse.com. If you want any kind of coaching, partner selection, just global knowledge coaching, if you would like that as well. Energy reading, tarot reading, um, alcohol beverage consultation, because I was the alcohol compliance analyst for DC government, alcohol beverage for the restaurants there. As well as a fraud investigator for the Department of Insurance, Securities, and Banking when I was working with them. So, yeah, if you need any help in those spaces, just reach out to me on my website, the-goddessuniverse.com. And basically, any website or content, social media management, whatever, contact me at the-goddessuniverse.com. And if you just want a quick one-on-one, 10-minute quick one-on-one, go to my website, the-goddessuniverse.com, and reserve your time slot. I think it's just like, what, $15 or something like that. And for businesses, also reach out to me at the-goddessuniverse.com, and yeah, we can work on individual projects, things of that nature. If you want a beat by Chaotic Beats, let me know. Okay, period. And yeah, if you just want to work with me in general, hit me up at the-goddessuniverse.com. Check out our Etsy line. There's a Palestine line, so if you want to support Palestine, 60% of the proceeds of pure profit, 60% of the pure profit is going to go to donating to the UNRWA, as well as just general aid for countries that have been affected or being affected by ethnic cleansing, colonialism, Zionism, racism, fascism, all those things. And yeah, and it's okay to support what's going on in your own way. Like, I am still an individual, I still have my life to live, but at the same time, the least I can do is, share what's going on. The least I can do is say justice for Palestine, justice for Gaza, justice for Sudan, justice for Congo, justice for Haiti, justice for Mauritania, justice for Nigeria, justice for all the countries being affected. That's the least I can do, and a lot of people, again, you never know what anyone does in their home or in their personal time. So me, I will never vouch for anyone 100%, unless it's like my mom and dad. And even then, when my dad is like, okay, he's still a man, but he knows, because he lives up to his manhood every single day, because he knows it's an every single day thing that you have to earn as a man. He knows that. Okay, at least that's what I've seen him do, and I absolutely respect him for that. Okay, so besides the people that you actually live with, there's no one on this globe, no matter how much of a best friend they are to you, that you will ever truly, really even know them, even when they live with you. Have you not seen Snapped? Have you not seen, like, this happens frequently. So married people don't even be knowing who they live with most times. So like, that's not even like a guaranteed thing, if you live with them, that you're gonna know them for sure, for sure. It's a lot of people that have friends that don't truly know their friends. Like me, I wasn't all this I didn't just let all this creativity just gush out of me. It was subtle little, hints and clues that I'm a creative motherfucker. But I hit it very well, because I know that people are can be jealous or envious of anything. Okay, and I know, oh my God, I might have this gift. Let me just, I'm not, nope. Let me just shut the fuck up and just, present like a lame, geeky person. Great, and that got me through. Black young girls, it's okay to be like, present as the awkward black girl. Present that way on purpose, because it's going to benefit you in the long run, especially if you live initially in an area that's not the best, that some might call hood. Present to be the awkward black girl, because you know what's within you. You know that you're a creative, fabulous, you know what I'm saying, being, okay, that you're all of that. You know that. So you play the character of the, awkward black girl that, is looks smart, but, comes across as dumb and stupid, and you know what I'm saying? Play that role, because that's what's going to get you through. Because the other type of girls, the real popping girls, I guess, at that age, it doesn't often last long anyway. But those girls, they may smell a hint of confidence, and you have to play that awkward black girl to a T, okay? So they don't even suspect that you have any fabulousness within you, okay? That's how you make it through, honestly. Because any little hint of jealousy or anything that they can be envious of, it will happen. So just always be gone, always be having to do something else. You know what I'm saying? If you're not the type to, want to say no. Me, I don't mind saying no, but I know some young ladies find it hard to say no. But learn to say no, okay? But in the meantime, these are quick things. Hey, I'm gonna be gone this weekend, or we're always busy at this time. Do something. Say something, because even being in the vicinity of certain type of people can put you in risk. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, the game is survival. It's not popularity. It's survival. Okay, survival, and to be able to live the life that you envision for yourself. Okay. Period. And part of that is selecting a partner that can provide you all your heart's desire. Okay? So all of those things. But back to, you don't ever really know anyone. You just So going along those lines, you also can't really blame people that other people like kind of put on or show, teach certain things too. They're probably going to be loyal to those people up until they find out some BS about them, like maybe they're a serial killer or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Once you find out certain things about people, even your favorite people, you kind of do look at them differently. And that's just what happens. And naturally so. And naturally so as well. Side note, certain aspects of certain industries are failing because the people that were naturally supposed to come up and help boost that industry were being shut down, were being suppressed. So now we have what's going on now, which is a bunch of mismatch, okay, going on, and a bunch of gaps and spaces that need to be taken by the people rightfully to be inserted in those positions, and no longer suppressing the individuals that should rightfully hold those, as those that want to hold those positions are not the rightful holders of the position. Does that sound familiar, like in history? I'm just saying. But anyways, it's your girl, your goddess chaotic, and I'm for people, okay? Especially the women's, especially the melanated women's, and more so, and more specifically, the black women's. Period. Okay, so shout out to all my cuisines. Okay, all cuisine me. And I be speaking broken English, not even broken English. I be speaking broken Yoruba. Don't you dare disrespect the Yoruba language. I be speaking broken Yoruba, because I know how I'm trying to learn is Yoruba, so therefore I'm learning broken Yoruba. I'm speaking broken Yoruba. Mo fẹ́ ṣàlàyé kí ni mo mọ̀ nísìn bẹ́ẹ̀ni gbogbo rẹ̀. Okay, period. All of that, yeah. Mo fẹ́ kàwé Yoruba gangan. Period. Ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ káalẹ́, ẹ káàsán, gbogbo àwọn ni mi. Period. Okay. Period. Okay. Go baddie. Kini kan. There I go, speaking my language. Okay. Look. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Judge yourself and judge your mom.